what are the basic essentials that people should make sure are on or in their vehicle?
Well, first of all, you should be preparing for your vehicle for winter now. This would include things like getting your block heater cord ready and put it in the trunk of the vehicle. Ensure that your block heater is working. A lot of people leave their cord hanging out over the winter time or over the summertime, and of course, it damages the cord. So you should make sure that your block heater is working. Test it now. Secondly, of course, make sure your snow brush is out. A lot of people throw those kind of things in their garage and kind of forget about it. So make sure that it is handy and ready. And of course, make sure you have an emergency kit in your trunk.
Let's go through the emergency kit. I assume that there is some, way that somebody could actually, purchase an actual car emergency kit. But let's just go through the basics of what that kit should include.
Well, you should have a number of things. So a blanket, of course, is important. Some sort of a flare kit, like whether it be triangle flares or something. A blanket, uh, some snack bars, this type of thing. Um, and of course, make sure that you have a fully charged cell phone. Let people know that when you're heading out, where you're expected to arrive at your location, so people know exactly where you're at.
And I'll keep it sort of on the exterior of the car here. So we'll go through, of course, the importance of winter tires and why those should be on the car. Let's go through other things too, such as windshield wipers. What are good things to do with them, and what are not, and ways that you could even wreck those things and other things on the exterior of the car.
Okay, so the number one thing is block heater. Make sure it's working. Number two, of course, change your oil over to a synthetic brand oil. This allows the engine to turn over in colder temperatures and easier starting. So have that done. Next, make sure that your tires are in good condition. And if you can afford it, make sure that you put winter tires on the vehicle. If not, make sure they're at least all weather tires. Make sure that they're properly inflated and also check your spare tire at the same time. A lot of people don't check the spare tire, and of course, when they go to use it, it's flat. So those are the number two. Number three would be, of course, your battery. Have it checked before going into winter here, because of course a lot of batteries do start to fail this time of year when it starts getting colder. So make sure that the battery is in good working condition. Wiper blades, of course, if they're more than a year old, you should change them out because, of course, they're not all that great in colder temperatures. So make sure that you have some good windshield wipers on it. Number three or four, make sure that all your fluid levels are up in the vehicle. Ensure that you do have winter antifreeze in the washer jug, and also have your engine cooling system checked over and ensure that you're at least good to minus 35.
I'm going to zero in on the battery a little bit. Are you able to sort of give me a number in terms of, if the temperature is at this level or lower, you should plug your car in? Are you able to give me a number on that?
We recommend minus 15 or colder that you start plugging your vehicle in. Now, that's where we start to see our call volumes rise. Due to colder temperatures. Now, this is because the battery, of course, if it's older, it's not putting out the proper voltage as it would if it was warmer. So, again, minus 15 or colder, start plugging in that vehicle.
And now let's go to, you touched on sort of the fluids already with the synthetic oil. Let's go in on that a little bit as well. Are there different things that people, like obviously with the synthetic oil, are there different fluids that other people should look at too, like washer fluid? And is there sort of, again, a temperature at which people should start switching that over?
They should have started switching over already. If you're running a summer windshield washer fluid in there, you're going to start having issues now because, of course, even if you add winter fluid to it, you're still going to have some summer in there. And of course, it's going to freeze once we start getting into these colder temperatures. So make sure that you do start switching that stuff now.
Let's talk about tires and parking. Now, you said you're actually the first person I've talked to who said sort of winter tires if you can afford them, which I certainly appreciate. But let's say that somebody can't put the winter tires on. They can't afford them. They have the all-weather. What are some different driving habits that they should do simply because they don't have the best tires on their car?
Well, of course, you should be driving for the winter conditions. Slow down, leave a little bit of space between you and the next person. Of course, when the roads do start getting slippery, again, that's the best advice I can give somebody. Slow down and start driving for the winter conditions. We're going to start having them pretty soon. And of course, you're going to have to be careful out there.
Just a couple more questions for you. Let's just talk about, of course, the general morning routine. The average person, they have the 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, and of course, when winter hits, you can't keep the same routine. So, are you able to speak to sort of, how the routine should be a little bit different, just so that you can ensure you have the time to, brush off your car and do some other things you might need to before you leave for work as well?
Well, that's one of the most important things that we see going into winter are vehicle thefts. And people go out, of course, they start their vehicle, go back in the house and make a coffee, this type of thing. And that vehicle's out there, the doors are open, unlocked, the vehicle's running, of course, and these vehicles, they get stolen. So it's not the greatest thing to do. What we recommend, especially in colder temperatures, is you get ready to go, you go out, you start the vehicle, and of course, if it's very cold, brush off the snow, scrape the windows, and you should be good to go, providing the windows are clear. Don't leave the vehicle. I was going to say, don't leave the vehicle unattended running because chances are it will disappear.
Yeah, that's wretched. Now I think we've touched on basically everything that I did want to go through. The one last thing is the overnight. So of course, plugging your car in is one thing. Any other things that people should do when they get out of their car for the last time that day, and it's going to be sitting there between then and the morning when they go to work.
Well, keep in mind, you don't need to plug in your vehicle all night long. Most vehicles, all they require is about 3 hours prior to starting that vehicle. So purchase some sort of a timer that you can set that starts warming up the vehicle 3 hours prior to leaving. And that way you save money on electrical costs.
Okay. Now again, I think we went through everything that I needed. Anything that you want to add that we didn't get the chance to go through?
Well, people should be maintaining their vehicle year round. So if that vehicle's maintained properly, there's just a couple little things that you need checked over: block heater, battery, and get your oil changed and make sure your tires are in good condition. And you should be good to go.